Hello, folks, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Joe, and you've reached my channel where I'm going to be reading various chapters of my upcoming book that will be hopefully coming out soon. I don't have any book deal yet, so that's why I'm just kind of getting them here online. And I got feedback about microphone, so I got to fix that. Haven't fixed it yet, but procrastinating. And then I realized I'd never really acknowledged the pastor or the church. It was Pastor Holland Davis, and the church was Calvary Chapel, San Clemente. I went to rehab at Covenant Hills and San Clemente, California, and every Sunday they dropped us off at church. At the time it was 10 a.m. because church went to 11:30. Lunch was at 12. The meals was you could not. The meals were set. You had to be there for those meals. We couldn't like adjust the meal to 1 o'clock. We had to be there by 12 to get that food. So anyway, yeah, that was the church. They took us every Sunday at the time. It was during COVID. They rolled the wall. They rolled the wall up on the side of the church and they called an outside service and they got away with it. So that's the whole reason I went there. And I'm going to a bonfire party with them tonight. So, anywho, Jolene. Jolene's like my alter ego. It's almost like a DID personality, but Jolene was me before I went to rehab. And now I'm Joe. I'm Joe Hill. Joey Hill. Joe Hill. One Joe Hill. Um, I use that in my emails. Okay, quickly. In college, I was in a fraternity. I was at the fraternity house, and they were having, kind of a not a big party, but I walked into someone's song was playing "One Tree Hill" by U2. They were all singing along, and then someone changed it to "One Joe Hill," and everybody saying "One Joe Hill, One Joe Hill," and there my nickname was born. And now I use it on like all my different email addresses. I'm One Joe Hill. So that is me as well. Jolene, Joe, Joey, and One Joe Hill. All right. My little AI assisted script here says, "Hi, I'm Jolene Hill." Okay, so this is before. That gives you a clue. This is before I went to rehab. I'm still Jolene. Last time I read the chapter where I walked into a church, I didn't get the wig out. I could and try to do my makeup and brush my hair. Um, I didn't really wear those clothes when I was out there using. It's just like a nice distinction to make between me and that person I used to be. That was Jolene. Um, I walked into a church and heard the question that changed everything. Aren't you glad? Today I'm going back to the madness that came before. This is chapter 2, The Ladder. It's the image at the heart of the book. No music, no fancy editing, just the story. And you will have seen it in the clip, the thumbnail on the video, hopefully. It turned out pretty good. Let's get into it. I climbed up this ladder from the 11th floor of my building. I didn't really know where it went. It just looked like a good place to hide. Somewhere no one would find me. Well, I knew it obviously went up to the rooftop. I just didn't know, really where I'd end up. Never took that ladder before. Oh, and it went up into like this little cubby hole area first. So you go in this little cubby, and then there's a hatch at the top. So I climbed all the way to the top. See, I get sidetracked and I start telling you guys. Okay, yeah. So I get all the way to the top. It skipped some parts. I guess consolidate a little bit. Get to the top, and I'm like, where am I gonna go? Am I gonna open this? And I listen. I was wrong. I thought someone would be able to find me, but I was wrong. They were out there on the roof. I heard their footsteps. I heard the rustling of their clothes and their movements. I thought I heard someone drop something. I didn't hear their voices. They thought they were so slick, but I heard them. They were out there. I just knew it. But why didn't they get any closer? Why didn't they open the hatch? Why didn't they ambush me while I was in that fetal position on that ladder? After I was up there for what seemed like an eternity, I decided I was going to initiate this confrontation. I was going to open this hatch and finally see all their faces, these people. I was going to look at them in the eye. I was going to say, here I am. Do what you came to do. So I did it on the count of three. One, two, three. I threw open the hatch. I was lashed with a gust of wind and raindrops fell on my face. Those bastards! But wait a minute. Where are they? Where are they? And so I like peek my head out and I see the flagpole. Okay, the flag is going making all these like sounds like footsteps, and the rope is slapping against the pole, and they got the pulley and it's going clang, clang, clang. Whoops. For on. Okay, those bastards, I thought to myself. But as I shook my head and wiped my eyes, I saw the enemy I was really fighting. For on the other side of that hatch was the flagpole of the building. The flag was making a lot of noise, flipping, flapping, floundering in the wind. The rope was slapping against the pole. The pulley was dangling from the hook and clanging against the pole every few seconds. All of that fear, all of that frustration, all of that energy it took to be propped up on that ladder, all of it was in vain. There were no footsteps. There were no enemies. There was no conspiracy. There was only a flag, battering in the wind. I was running while no one was chasing me. I didn't know that was a Bible verse then. I know it now. Leviticus, the curse for disobedience. You will run when no one is chasing you. I stayed on that ladder for a long time after I opened the hatch. I didn't want to climb down. I didn't want to face the truth. The truth that the enemy was not out there. The enemy was in here. In my head, in my paranoia, in my addiction, in my shame. I climbed down eventually. Oh wait, you know what? It didn't add something. It was supposed to add the song. I like to refer to a lot of songs that would be appropriate for this situation. And the song I wanted it to add, but it doesn't seem like it did, was I wrote it out and everything too. Um, it was Zombie in your head, head, zombie, zombie, zombie. They are fighting in your head with their guns and their bombs and their bombs and their. Um, I climbed down eventually. I don't remember how. I don't remember when. I just remember that I did. Not because I was brave, because I was exhausted. But I never forgot that ladder. I never forgot the hatch. I never forgot the flag. I never forgot the moment when I realized that the enemy was not out there. The enemy was the one telling me that the enemy was out there. Get it? The flag was just a flag. The footsteps were just the wind. The ladder had a bottom. And the king was waiting. That's the chapter. That's the moment I started to crack. Not break, crack. If you want to hear what came after, how to get down, how I found the church, subscribe. I already kind of told you. I'll read more. The book is called Come On, Jolene, Pick Up Your Mat and Walk. You can find it wherever books are sold. No, you can't. My AI is hallucinating here. Uh, that's hilarious. My AI knew that that book was not out yet. Hello. Thanks for listening, and remember, the flag is just a flag. The footsteps are just a footward ladder. Come on, Joe Hill, pick up your mat and walk. Okay, it was supposed to be, come on, Jolene, pick up your mat and walk. All right, so, and that's it. So, it just is a very small sample of everything that I was going through in those days. Um, I had to get away from them. I was so paranoid. I thought people were watching me, spying on me. Um, people would drop by my place unexpectedly, so I didn't want to be home, but I didn't necessarily want to go out. What was I going to do? Go out and get a hotel room? So I found places to hide in my building. Yeah, and I think I got caught a few times, and you're gonna hear about those and some upcoming videos. But for now, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the chapter called The Ladder. More coming soon. Bye bye.